Hello everybody, welcome to the UFC. This is your Ultimate Film Championships. It's the greatest tournament of all time. I've got, of course, Sean here and Xander. These are the two contestants and we're going to fight. Oh, I'm not going to fight. These two are going to fight for the new belt. The new UFC belt. Don't sue us, Dana White. Okay, so we're going to run down 3 topics plus a hot take. Best movie of the 2000s.
Okay.
Worst horror scene. And best MCU movie.
Okay.
We're going to start off with, obviously, the best movie of the 2000s. And Sean, you're going to start.
I'm going to start it off. Well, the best film of the 2000s, for me personally, is Blade Runner 2049. Directed by Denis Villeneuve, starred by Ryan Gosling, Adele Arnaz. Yes, the reason why this is my favourite film of the best film of the 2000s is because the visuals of this movie is fantastic. Every scene that you see in it just brings this awe. You just get this level of awness to it. It's brilliant. And the story. First of all, the visuals are fantastic.
Yeah.
The acting from Ryan Gosling is second to none. I think he's probably better than some of his other films, as in, like, he's better than probably films in Drive, is Only God Forgives, all those kind of movies. Yeah, and also the fact that this film had a lot of like pressure on it, considering that it was a sequel that nobody was really asking for. Nobody was really asking for this kind of sequel, and even though the hardcore Blade Runner fans, some of them were wondering where it was going to come from, but a lot of other people were like, "Nah, we don't need this," because the first Blade Runner was fantastic. You know, that stood on its own.
Good film.
It was a great sci-fi movie of its time, even still. But I think Blade Runner 2049 really expands on the lore of that world that it creates. It really does create it, and it gives us really just the hidden message that it's got in this film, like what it's like to be human, if you have the memories, does it really affect your past? Does it like help you out and stuff like that? Does it really affect it? And also the fact some of the villain Love is a great character. Every time she's on scene, she's always menacing. She's very, very menacing. And
What was the villain's point? What was she trying to call Craig Eckers?
They were trying to get the bones of because what happened at the first Blade Runner. Spoilers for the first Blade Runner if you haven't seen it. It's like 30 years old, but you should have voiced it by now. But so pretty much what happens is the Rachel character from the first Blade Runner had a child, but she was a replicant. So it's like what Love is trying to do is try to find all that replicant is trying to find like why the main character is trying to get what it is Ryan Gosling's character thinks that he is the baby, is that baby, and also Love is trying to find this baby and try to kill it, and we'll try to like use it as a message, and it's going to create war between the world.
Right.
This would create a war between the entire world, and if they knew that replicants could recreate, and if that was the case, then it would just cause mass destruction between the world, because knowing that now, that then creates more. Then that means we need to treat those replicants as human now, and that kind of message is, you know, it's as I said earlier on, what it's like to be human, how it's, you know, it really does bring all that out, and I think that the way the whole film is just done. The one big problem I have with it is how long it is.
Right.
It is quite long, but saying that though, the visuals and stuff like that, sometimes you don't even notice the runtime of the film. You don't notice it at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Rest up you there.
Right.
Xander.
So we got a bit of a superhero theme going on in this one, so I thought I'd go with a superhero film for this. And I think that the best movie of the 2000s is Batman The Dark Knight. Batman The Dark Knight is arguably the greatest DC film ever made. I don't even need to go into detail of how Heath Ledger got into the character of Joker. I'm pretty sure you all know that by now. Just absolute madman he was, and may he rest in peace. Dark Knight was probably a surprise for a lot of superhero fans as well, because I think a lot of people really expected a more sort of jokey Batman. Well, not Batman as being a bit jokey, just a bit more of a jokey film. As you know, like, cause, you know, Joker's a bit of a funny cunt, isn't he? Like that was the point of Joker, but Heath Ledger didn't really go with that side of it. He went for a side of Joker that was just pure chaos, and I think that's what makes this film much better than the one with Bane and Batman Begins, because this just felt different. This didn't feel like a Batman movie. This felt like a Joker film with Batman in it, because this was Joker's story of how he wants just total chaos in Gotham, and just that entire last half hour is an absolute masterpiece in filmmaking. Absolute masterpiece. And obviously you can't fault Christian Bale being Batman. I think he's probably the best Batman still, sorry, Affleck. No, yeah, that film's a masterpiece from start to finish, honestly. Like, you could watch that time and time again, never get bored of it. I think that's what makes it one of the best films of the 2000s.
What's Joker's cause, if you haven't seen the film?
It's just to create pure chaos. And he has that perfect line in the film: it's not about the money, it's about sending a message. When he burns up that money. Like, that to me is amazing, because usually a lot of enemies' plots and especially in the comics as well for Batman is just like getting all the money in the world. They want to take over the world, which, you know, the world is Gotham, because that's all they fucking are in the fucking world. And, you know, like, you know, they want to take over the world so much, but Joker didn't want to do that. He just wanted pure chaos, and I think that's what makes Joker much more different in this one as well. And you know, Joker's a bit of a shady character anyway in Batman. Like, you don't really know his real name, and you don't know much about his backstory, so it's always really easy to change up the character because he's not got a backstory to run off. But I think this Joker really spawned a lot of comics that a lot of people wanted to run with for a background of, especially The Killing Joke, which, if none of you have read, by the way, is the best Batman comic of all time. And in The Killing Joke, they really run that with the Joker in Dark Knight, and that's because it's the fucking best version of Joker. It's just this really crazy bastard who's not scared to do anything. And that's what Joker was in Dark Knight. He's just an absolute crazy bastard, and it's probably one of the only superhero films where the bad guy is really the main
favourite.
Yeah, he's really that film is really, you go and watch that to see the Joker. You don't go and watch it to see Christian Bale play Batman. You watch it to see Heath Ledger's performance as Joker, and I think that's why it's the best movie of the 2000s, because it's so different and no one expected that.
What about the story?
The story is, I mean, it's a bit, I mean, people argue it's a bit crap, don't they? And I don't see why they argue that. I think the story's actually pretty good. You know, it's Batman, you know, he's just outcame the fear from Batman Begins, and now he's got to deal with this absolute madman, and you just don't know what he's going to do next, and like, that's always difficult for someone who just never knows what the protagonist is going to do next. And I think when it came to like the end of it, you know, like Batman had to do stuff with Lucius Fox that they promised they would never ever do, just to stop Joker. Like Batman, and especially Bruce Wayne, so they had to come out of their comfort zone to defeat the Joker, who doesn't even have a comfort zone, which I think is, you know, you can almost argue the Joker won in many ways, because if you think about Harvey Dent as well, coming into Two-Face, you can think that Joker actually won there, because Batman had to take the fall for killing him, and that's what Joker was almost trying to push as well, is that Batman's not actually this good vigilante, he's actually an evil cunt. And that's what Batman had to portray at the end. He had to take the fall for Harvey Dent's death. So Joker pretty much, you know, arguably won in The Dark Knight. And that's my argument.
Right, so...
I can also say the soundtracks is from the same Hans Zimmer. Both films that we've created is from Hans Zimmer.
So, we've heard your first discussion about it. Now I want you to argue about what film is better. Story-wise.
Nobody wanted a Blade Runner 2049. Nobody wanted a Blade Runner sequel.
Nobody got it, but we got one of probably the best sequel, well, personally in my opinion.
And the worst Jared Leto performance I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah, Jared Leto's only in it for like 5 minutes.
Exactly, but it's shit.
He's only in it for 5 minutes.
No, but he's the Jar Jar of that film. That's what I'm saying. It's shit. He's the Jar Jar of that film. Like, every time I try and watch Blade Runner, I can't, because I know he's coming up.
But
it's shit.
No,
it's shit.
It's not shit.
And they had to bring back Harrison Ford for it as well, because they know that he wouldn't be successful and they wouldn't fucking hit box office if he wasn't in it.
No.
They know that, but they know that.
What?
They knew that, right? Whereas Dark Knight took a gamble by changing Joker up and by changing the entire film up and by having a different franchise going ahead. They changed that up, right? And Christopher Nolan, right? He's a ballsy cunt, but he hit box office with Dark Knight. He's a ballsy fucker, but he's good at it.
Listen, right.
Who even directed 2049?
Denis Villeneuve.
Who?
Denis Villeneuve, that's directed Enemy, that's directed Arrival, that directed also, what was the other one? He directed one. He's actually going to direct Dune.
Dune.
Aye. It's going to be, it's actually meant to be, it's going to
Dune.
be. No.
As in the video game?
No.
Right.
Dune.
Okay,
Done.
right.
I don't know how to pronounce it, it's fucking annoying.
Those are big box office films, aren't they?
What?
Those are big box office films, aren't they?
Listen, it's not the fact that, right? he has made a lot of great sci-fi movies, and I think Blade Runner 2049 is one of the best
Do you
because
want to know my reason for not liking Ryan Gosling?
Why?
Because he's in Drive. I fucking hate Drive.
Drive is fucking
Drive's
fantastic.
Well, let's talk about Drive.
sucks.
I know.
I'm not talking about Drive. I'm talking about Ryan Gosling, and that film ruined me for him.
How
It
exactly?
ruined his career for me.
Brian, how can
Brian.
I said how? I
20.
hate this fucking section because they're making me try to fucking hate on the Dark Knight.
Yeah, that's what the full point is.
But how the fuck?
See, this is my point, right? You can't hate The Dark Knight because The Dark Knight is a fucking masterpiece, whereas you can hate Blade Runner because
Yeah,
there
but
are
how-
faults in Blade Runner. There are faults in that film, right? Whereas The Dark Knight is a masterpiece of superhero from start to finish. It's a fucking masterpiece.
Well, I mean, we can't really deny. We can't deny that at all.
Well, that's...
He's gave me the W. You need to give me the point. He's gave me the fucking W.
Well, after you said you can't fault Dark Knight and you can't argue against it, I heard a lot of good points for both of you there. The one that really, like, you shouldn't even say that in your discussion. Nobody wanted it.
Yeah, nobody did want
Second
it. But at the same time, though, we got a film that was over exceeded what it needed to be, and I thought it was fantastic what it done.
Then again, you did say the Jared Leto performance was garbage,
It was garbage.
which I can agree with. It was kind of.
Did you even see the film?
I did see the film.
Okay.
And then for the Dark Knight, a very dark joke, obviously, sending a message to the villain's cause. The protagonist has no clue what to do during the film. That climax at the very end, and all of them are set on course.
Yeah.
And so I just to get the point to
Fair.
to Xander.
I know when I'm beat. That was definitely.
So that says round 2 is worst horror scene. And Sean, start your opening discussion.
I'm going to discuss it. Okay. So, the worst horror scene, in my opinion. Now, this character, the character I'm about to talk about, he's meant to be like really feared. At this point in time, he wasn't really made of a joke. At this point, he was a very respected character. That he was really like fear up to everybody. Everybody, when you thought of this character, you just really fear came into your mind. But this film and what they done to this character, I thought was just despicable. I think it was horrible. I think it was horrible what they done to this character, which was killing him off with a karate kick in Halloween Resurrection.
Oh my god.
Now, where do I begin? So H2O, let's just start off with H2O. So H2O, it ends with Laurie Strode just fucking decapitating, beheading Michael Myers' head. Well, supposedly Michael Myers. Nope, that didn't happen. No, it wasn't Michael Myers at all. No, it was just some random guy that apparently tried to pull it out, didn't say a word. No, just
Right, and suck.
then, but they debunked that. They said, nope, that wasn't Michael Myers. They make this movie.
Who did the karate kick? Who did the
It came from
karate
a
kick?
character called Freddy. Not the Freddy Krueger. Not a character that would be known.
Who was playing Freddy?
What was his name again? I can't remember his name.
Buster Rhymes.
Buster Rhymes, for fuck's sake.
Buster Rhymes. Oscar-worthy performance from Buster Rhymes.
Now, the Karate Kick itself, it's just horrible. Even the scene when Buster Rhymes and Michael Myers, when they walk in and he's got the Michael Myers mask on, and then Michael Myers comes up behind him and just doesn't do anything. You would think that Michael Myers would just kill him there and then.
Yep.
He would kill him there and then, wouldn't he?
Yes.
No, but he gets killed by a fucking karate kick. This character that has been shot like 7 times, not 6, because if you count on the film, in the first one. He got shot 7 times, he exploded in the second movie. It wasn't even in the third movie. The fourth movie, how did he die? How did he die in the fourth one? Did he just... I can't even remember how he died in the fourth one. I know it wasn't a karate kick.
In Return? How the fuck does he die in Return?
I know he doesn't die in the fifth one because he gets like sent to jail and then... Oh no, saying that though, because the 4, 5 and 6 aren't even canon.
Oh my god, he does. He sent to jail in 5, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Was Return that when he goes in the river?
Oh yeah, so it was when he gets shot by all the...
When he gets shot and then he gets... Oh my god.
He gets shot multiple times, you know. This character's went through all of that. Although 4, 5 and 6 is not canon, fair enough, but you don't kill an iconic character by making a karate kick. No, that is not how you kill the most iconic, probably scariest character. And of probably all time, one of. You know, that is just...
What with how would you say the movie was?
The movie itself, fucking garbage. It was fucking garbage. The movie itself is, they try to pull off this Paranormal Activity kind of thing with like the cameras all around the house. Like a Big Brother meets Paranormal Activity. Who wants that? Who wants that? I don't fucking know. Some guy that probably thought this will be cool when fling this on. When to make this.
Interesting. Right. So, Xander.
So, it's very interesting that Sean said karate because my worst horror scene is very similar to karate. A lot of you might remember a big franchise called Nightmare on Elm Street. And I think Liam knows what I'm going to say here. So there's a specific character, and I'm pretty sure it's Freddy's Dead, and I could be wrong about that, and I'm sure you guys will tell me about that, but I think it's Freddy's Dead. And there's a scene where there's a dream scene, of course, because that's where Freddy kills you. He kills you in the dreams, and so there's a character in Freddy's Dead, right, who loves doing karate, right, and they expose this so much during the film, just to pretty much throw it in your face that this guy's going to die by some karate moves or something, right? That's how they're going to throw that in your face there, right? So they have a scene where he's in a dojo, right?
I think is that not the fifth one? Is it not the fifth one when it's like...
Freddy's Dead.
I think it's in the fifth one where... Is it not when it's first person? Right, anyway, sorry, continue. I'll let you continue, sorry.
So it's just Freddy's glove, right? That he's fighting, right?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
So he's doing karate against Freddy's glove, right? And then then he dies, right? It's a terrible scene. The reason that I've chosen this is the worst horror scene is because, see, at this point in the movie, they ran out of money and they had to put bed sheets up to make it look like a dojo. But they already filmed these funeral scenes, so they had to kill them all somehow. So they put up a bunch of bed sheets. And he put him in a karate costume, and he's just throwing his legs about in the Freddy's hands.
I think that's the Nightmare on Elm Street 5. I can't remember because they're all like, see, 4, 5. I've got to give you that. 4, 5, and Freddy's Dead are just. You get mixed up with all three of them. I don't believe that.
It's Dream Warriors, Dream Child, and.
Can you remember they had like the same kind of titles? The Dream Master.
Oh my god, there's
Dream Master, Dream Child, and then Freddy's Dead.
Is that it?
Yeah.
So was it Dream Child?
I'm a fan of this franchise and I forgot what it was. Because the three movies are just very similar.
I would say, how do you feel about the actual film that happens? But
I don't know what the actual film. See, to be honest, right, the actual film itself, see 4, 5 and 6, garbage.
We can't even, Freddy's Dead kind of has more of an identity itself.
Yeah.
Because that has the scene where he blows up multiple times in your face.
So, I mean,
Another contender.
see, the reason that this film sucks as well is because, like, see, at the funeral scene as well, he gets out of the coffin and he goes, "Hello, baby." Why? Why?
Oh.
Also, see, because he did that, does that mean that she fell asleep at his funeral?
That happens a lot of times in the Nightmare franchise.
It's honestly, it's so dumb. But that scene alone where he dies because of karate by an invisible, no. I mean, why?
We have a karate themed worst scene.
Karate Kid.
Just leave karate out of horror. Just leave.
Karate Kid kills main villain by Buster Rhymes in Halloween. In Karate Guy, fights Freddy's hand. Hey, baby! Right, so there's no much argument you could put up against each other here. They're both
Well,
absolutely got.
I would say the one argument we can make is the fact that Buster Rhymes kills Michael Myers by a karate kick.
I think the one argument we can make here is that Freddy doesn't even kill him with karate. He just stabs him with a glove and that's it. So he doesn't even use his profession in his dreams to kill him. He just kills him with a glove. It's the most boring death in the franchise.
But like, you don't kill an iconic character with.
No, right,
With a
you know what, you're right, you don't kill an iconic character with that, but you also don't blow an iconic character up.
But
A lot of times.
well, that's not the karate scene. That's not
No,
the scene.
that's not the karate scene, right? But I've got to say, right, see during your point about it as well, you didn't really talk about the scene. You talked about the whole movie.
Aye, well, you just. That's because you need to talk about the whole fucking movie for this.
No, you just need to talk about the scene. That's the whole point. It's the worst horror scene, Sean. If we're doing the worst horror movie, then fair enough. But it's with the worst horror scene. You can't remember it was Buster Rhymes. That's the easiest part. The easiest part to remember that it's Buster Rhymes that does it.
Because. Right.
Doesn't Laurie die at the start of the film as well?
See if the whole film is just about. See if the film is just about that. The scene where like Michael Myers is trying to go through the entire asylum to get to Laurie. I think that would have been a good movie.
Sorry, that was a good like 10 minutes or something, 15 minutes.
It was okay. It was quite good, yeah. You know, if that was a whole movie, just if it was
I
more
didn't know
expanded,
the fat guy. They was making the masks.
it would just be like a Michael. It would just be like a
don't
Halloween
know.
2.
Honestly, Resurrection's a mess.
I know.
Resurrection is a fucking mess. And just see the fact that like they put Jamie Lee Curtis all over the posters and everything for it, and she dies in 15 minutes. Like, is that?
I think they'll try to do a Scream.
That was the only way I was going to sell it.
I think maybe they'll try to do a Scream when, you know how. I don't know, it was Scream even released when this was released.
Yeah, because Resurrection was like 2001, 2002. Scream was like 97, 98.
Yeah. Well, because you know how, remember how apparently the actor in Scream was meant to be like quite big in it. Like
I
the
can't remember
character
how
that dies in the first couple of minutes.
I know you're talking, but I can't remember.
Maybe
her name.
they'll try to do
But
that.
she was all over the promotional pictures, right? And it was pretty nuts that she dies early. But when you have Jamie Lee Curtis in the film, the whole point of Laurie Strode is that's the whole point of Michael Myers is that he's trying to kill his sister,
And now
right?
he's done that, he just goes to
And then he kills her in 15 minutes, and we've still another hour of that film. Like, what's the point?
They pull a Vanos on us. They pull an Endgame on us.
Right, so with everything I've heard, you talked more about the film, but that's my fault for saying talking about the rest of the film. So talking about the scene,
I just don't think you kill him.
something that you didn't mention there is the explosion that was in. He was getting burnt to fuck in that in
What the
the.
karate scene with Buster Rhymes?
With Buster Rhymes, he was getting cooked to fuck and blown up to fuck after that house was burning down in the garage.
But still, you don't. Well, how not
So
kill
he
Michael Myers
survives,
off there and then?
Let's not forget after he karate kicked him, he did an interview where he said that Michael Myers is a shark. It's like a shark after he's
It just disrespects the character in every way.
putting Buster Rhymes in a film disrespects.
Yeah, it does
So,
definitely,
right,
but
right. So after
I've got a headache after thinking about my horrors.
after he gets burnt to fuck, he gets karate kicked by Buster Rhymes.
there's many ways you can do. There's many ways you can turn that around. There's many ways you can do other things. And who thought of that? That's what I want. Did Buster Rhymes just think of that on the spot?
That probably was his idea because he probably get paid a fuck ton to be in the film.
And then there were years after the funeral scene, I think it was, or was it before it?
No, I was arguing that they filmed the funeral scene already for him and they ran out of money. but they had to kill him off somehow.
Aye.
So that's what they done. They just threw a bunch of bed sheets up, and then they have a karate scene, and then he dies by a stab with a glove. It's just so bad.
Just with a stab with a glove. But the only way, I'm glad you shared the point this, the only way I'm doing that is because
You are
Freddy-
making interesting for the third one, didn't you?
no. Freddy killed him with the glove. He did a karate kick the guy.
No,
Freddy killed him with the
that's
glove.
the argument I'm trying to make here. Every kill that Freddy has done has involved someone's like occupation or someone's like, you know, what's the word? Like, hobby, right? That's always been Freddy's style to try to kill someone, is by giving you a nightmare of what you enjoy most. Making him be someone who loves karate and then kill him with a stab to the glove is a shit kill from Freddy. But the reason it's a shit kill is because the producers literally ran out of money and they had to just do something to kill him off.
There's a lot of shit kills in Nightmare on Elm Street.
There is a lot of shit killed, right? But this is garbage. Like, this isn't even trying. At least all the ones they tried. This isn't even trying.
I mean, that's a whole nother level and a
The
kill.
I would
how different it is.
personally say the Freddy's Dead one with the game.
But see, that is shit, right? But it's creative at least. At least that's something different than, oh, I'm going to stab you in my glove while you're wearing a karate suit. Like, that's just boring as fuck. Like, why did that even happen? Just have the funeral scene. Don't even show us him dying at that point.
Sean wins the point.
He's just doing this, but so it's interesting for the last one. That's it.
Right, so it's one each.
No, it's
The
not rigged at all.
the points up there and up there.
I'm not doing the points.
I look like a fucking idiot then. Right, so last topic of discussion. Best MCU film to date. And today's date is the 9th of May, 2019.
You have to check his phone to find out.
Aye. Right, Xander, you stop.
I'm starting.
Aye.
Okay, so you guys, some of you may actually know what my favourite film of the MCU franchise is, because I pretty much mentioned it in the MCU video we did just the other week. If you want to go check that out, it's in the channel. My favourite is Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, and the reason I'm choosing Guardians of the Galaxy is because I believe Sean's going to choose the Avengers, and I want to argue it.
Right,
That's it. That's mine. That's me. That's me. What?
Short and sweet.
That's me. That's
That's it. Right. On you go, Sean.
What?
Nothing.
Right, well,
Keep it short and sweet.
well, Xander is correct. My favourite MCU movie, I would say personally, is Avengers Endgame.
Oh, Endgame. Oh. I think I choose the first one. Right. Okay.
Nope. Avengers Endgame.
You want to say it in a minute? Quickly.
Just it completes the saga fantastically. Magnificently.
Right. Cool. Well, that's the picks. Discuss.
Right. Let's start off easy here, right? So, see when you look at Hulk, right?
Mhm.
Hulk has a good he's an alright backstory, right? I mean, the Hulk film, you know, it's not great, but it's still a backstory, right? And the way that Mark Ruffalo plays Bruce Banner is brilliant, right? He's a brilliant Bruce Banner, and I believe that is Bruce Banner to me. So, he's a good Hulk, right? But is he a good supporting character? Not really. He's fun, right? He's a fun supporting character, but he's not a good supporting character. When you look at Groot, right, what does Groot give you from the first Guardians of the Galaxy film? He makes you laugh, right? He makes you excited. He gives you all those wee pretty lights, right? So he makes you in awe. Then he made you cry when he said, "We are Groot," and he helped the whole team survive at the end, right? He gave you all of that in one movie, right? And Hulk has just been fun for 4 Avengers films, and Ragnarok. He was in Ragnarok as well, right? And the thing that I love most about Guardians of the Galaxy, right, is, first of all, can't argue the soundtrack. The soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal. Peter Quill, Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, fantastic. Couldn't have picked a better actor for it. Gamora is a great arsehole at the start. Like, she's brilliant as she's been a cunt. Her sister, Nebula, played by a Scottish woman, one of yours.
What was your point about Chris Pratt?
Oh, you couldn't have picked a better actor to play Star-Lord. Couldn't have picked a better actor to play Star-Lord. He screams 80s to me, Chris Pratt. And that's where Peter Quill was from before he get took. What's the actor's name? Why am I forgetting the actor's name? Who plays Yondu?
I can't remember, to be honest.
Michael Rooker.
I can't remember.
Well, Yondu, right? Yondu is a really good. He's a good villain actually. In fairness, like he's always after Peter Quill during the whole film, and like it sort of gives you that nice sort of like, you know, side quest into the entire movie. This film really blends a lot between like Star Wars and Avengers because it's, you know, it's a group of heroes who actually don't like each other, but they have to get along in order to save the galaxy. And for this film, they had to create characters and then give them a story and then have it end off perfectly. Whereas in Endgame, we know who they are. And obviously Endgame is sad, right? And it's now the biggest film of all time, right? And it deserves to be. You know, Endgame is a truly terrific film, but for me, Guardians of the Galaxy speaks more to me on a personal level because...
Shane, you can button it ended time, by the way.
I'm going to be talking
it speaks to me on a personal level because, like, that's an entire movie based upon all these new characters we've never seen before unless you read the comics. And they've got to create all these characters and develop them through, what was it, just a 2 hour runtime maybe, something like that. And, you know, again, and as I mentioned again, soundtrack, amazing. The fact that they brought in the whole dance sequence at the end, that was different. Like that, you know, for Marvel, they don't really do that. You usually just have like one big fight scene. And then we've seen how strong Peter Quill actually is when he's able to hold the Infinity Stone. And obviously, we see more of that in the sequel. So, for me, I think Guardians of the Galaxy is the best MCU film, mainly because it's able to create, develop, and conclude such a story in one movie.
Well, yeah, fair enough. I do respect your opinion for Guardians of the Galaxy, but the reason for me of why I'm choosing Avengers Endgame is because, see, the amount of pressure that the Russos must have had. Okay, you have to finish a story over 21 films. A story that's built for at least for 11 years. It's been built over for 11 years. You need to add in Guardians of the Galaxy, you need to add in Captain Marvel that's just been released, you need to add Spider-Man. Obviously half of them have all been killed. Now you have to deal with a story that they need to seek for revenge for Thanos. And once they do, they have to then work somehow away. But we live in a world where the Avengers actually got defeated.
Yep.
We live in a world where they are beaten for 5 years. That's a long time. You know, that's a long time for the characters to grieve. That's a long time for the characters to really let it sink in.
Yeah.
You know, like, we actually are seeing Avengers get beat. Which is something that you'd never really expect to see in these MCU movies. Which is why it really grabbed my interest right from the get-go.
Yeah.
It really, okay, this is actually going to have this. I don't know where this is going to go. That was the first time in the MCU I was like, where's this going? You know?
Okay.
Because the second that they killed Thanos, I was like, oh, right, okay, what's happening here?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then once they discover the time travel, once the Ant-Man comes back and he has to deal with the quantum realm stuff and then have to go back in time and stuff, you know, having to see all the old films and, well, the films of what they took place and they had to go back to.
Yeah,
Guardians of the Galaxy at the start, you know, when you're seeing all that and then you're seeing how the new characters kind of interact with all that, which I thought was fantastic. Tony Stark and Captain America getting their ending, what they truly deserve.
Okay, yeah.
They're getting endings that they truly deserve. I just think it's, overall, it just completes the entire story, finishes the story off fantastically, and just everything about that movie, it just made me like the MCU again, because I was kind of falling away from it.
Right, okay.
Before Endgame, I was like, I can't be bothered with these movies anymore, because obviously I just had seen Captain Marvel and I was a bit like, oh, right, okay. But
You're a fan of Captain Marvel?
I'm not a big fan of Captain Marvel.
Okay.
But then Endgame just swung me right back round, and also plus, can we just say that last act? Can we just say that last act when...
The last act of Endgame is one of the best last acts in film history.
Just that entire battle.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was... my jaw was down.
Yep, okay.
And just awe. You know, just seeing the spirals, just everybody coming through, seeing Spider-Man swinging through, seeing Guardians of the Galaxy coming right through, and it was just a moment of wow.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
wow.
right.
And also the fact that how the ending of Thanos, how he gets defeated by his own game, at the end of it all, and I just, wow, what a great movie. Also, it doesn't have any
It is a great movie, right? And
post-
you're correct that it ties up the film, it ties up the franchise perfectly, right? Only reason it does that is because Guardians of the Galaxy came before it, and we've seen these characters first, and they developed these characters in this film.
Yeah, but you can say that about all the other films, though.
You could say that about other
Times
films,
where you needed
but
all those films
do
to-
they do it better than Guardians? No, they don't.
Listen, that scene that we have with the Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy at the end was, you know, they've shown the future of the Guardians of the Galaxy, seeing where that's actually going to
And
go.
then the ending, yeah, that looks awesome, and like, and it's, you know, and it shows how much the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise is big when they put Thor
Oh, don't get
at
me
the
wrong.
end credits for it.
Yeah.
And you know, we've got another story where like Gamora is like missing, and you know, like Peter Quill's got to get her back.
Yeah, as we said earlier on, we did say the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is going to probably.
Yeah, I said that I'm really looking forward to it because Guardians of the Galaxy is probably going to be the best MCU franchise. It's going to be the best trilogy out of all the other MCUs, and I mean, I don't know where Spider-Man's going to go. Don't know if there's going to be a third one of that. That could maybe beat it. But for me, Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, it develops these characters, and you know, you have Groot who can only say 3 fucking words, except for, you know, when he says "we are." He only can say 3 words, right? And even to that, it's like you're laughing. You don't even know what he's saying. Only Rocket can understand him, but you're still laughing at him, right? Because he's fucking BB-8 of fucking Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Then you have Rocket, right? Who everybody makes fun of, right? But he is a total fucking badass anyway. You know, that whole prison scene, for instance. Total fucking badass, right? Then you've got the animal, Dave Bautista. You know, just being fucking Bautista at that point as Drax the Destroyer. You know, and the fact that he does not understand sarcasm, that's brilliant. That's good character development.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, what else can you say about Peter Quill anyway? What else can you say about Peter Quill? One of the best characters in it.
I would say Chris Pratt is probably the best actor to play Peter Quill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
there's
nobody else.
nobody better to choose for that role. And in Infinity War, like, you really feel for the guy in Infinity War. You really fucking feel for that guy. And like the whole part in the first film where like he's talking about his mum and stuff, and he finds that new track at the end. He finds that new case at the end. Oh man, so heartwarming in that bit.
I just think, see, with Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers Endgame, I think that Endgame really does test their characters of when they eventually do come back. I think that brings them like full circle again, and Star-Lord finally sees Gamora again, and now he has to rebuild that relationship with Gamora again now for the future. I just think it really does test their character of when they do come back and they're having to fight all these villains and stuff like that. I think that where the Guardians of the Galaxy, like I would say it was just, I just wouldn't put it, I wouldn't place it all on the Guardians of the Galaxy for Endgame. I'm placing this on absolutely everything, you know. I'm placing this on
No, yeah, you're right. You're placing
the
this
entire
on, yes.
history of the MCU and how it actually.
See, right, you're correct about that, right? You're totally correct about that. It does tie up the entire franchise as a whole, right?
I
It
think
does.
it's fantastically well.
Yes, it does. It ties up the first 3 phases brilliantly, right? But what makes Guardians of the Galaxy just almost pinch perfect of a film is that you're able to introduce so many of these comedians into the film as well. Like who's the guy at the end? Who's the guy on the planet? Again, he's a really famous comedian. Probably,
yeah, I know exactly what you're on about.
See, he's a really famous comedian, but he
I know.
actually played a really serious fucking role in that film. And let's not argue here, right? Guardians of the Galaxy just feels like an 80s.
Yeah.
It feels like an 80s film with just good CGI.
The only one problem I have with Guardians of the Galaxy, the one problem that I would say is Ronan, the villain. For me personally, I just don't think that I don't think the villain's as good as the heroes in this film. Mainly because
That's a good thing though.
yeah, but he's not what I mean is he's not as like memorable in this. Because I know you should not even bring him up at all in this
Yes,
in this whole discussion.
Right, yeah, but Guardians of the Galaxy is about the Guardians of the Galaxy, not about Ronan. Whereas you can argue that Endgame was a bit like about Thanos and how he's actually trying to get the stones back again as his past self. And Infinity War was kind of about Thanos as well, you know. And the reason that they're about Thanos is because we've seen so much of the Avengers now that we don't need another film about the Avengers. Whereas we needed a film about the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, we got the solo films of all of the like Thor. We got Iron Man, we got Captain America and stuff like that. We got all of their solo films as well.
Yeah, we did get their solo films as well, right? And that's correct. And then we got the first Avenger movie, which was about them working as a team. And then we got Age of Ultron, which was a tiny bit about Ultron, tiny bit about Iron Man. And then we got Infinity War, which was just all about Thanos. and in Endgame was still a good bit about Thanos, and there was a bit of Nebula as well. So, my argument for why Guardians of the Galaxy is the best MCU movie is because it's about the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's about them guarding the galaxy from, you know, people who want to destroy it and from people who want to take the Infinity Stones. And, you know, when they give it to the Collector, you know, they're very stupid to, but they do. And they should be guarding these stones, but they don't. And I think that's why it's the best MCU movie.
In my personal opinion, right, see Guardians of the Galaxy.
You're going to get a point to show.
I've
you know?
not even stoked yet. I've not made that decision yet. But Guardians of the Galaxy is justice is done right. Because you've just flung all the characters in at once in a load of
Does it well better than Justice League.
Right.
I can say that.
They've put all these characters all in together and they couldn't know who they are, apart from whoever reads the comics.
Mm-hmm.
And they've done it right. And that's what they should have done with Justice League. And if we had Justice League like that, we'd be
It
talking
was a
about
big risk
DCU.
movie, but they've done it right. I've got to give Guardians of the Galaxy
The
that.
thing that Justice League has for it is that there was already a Batman v Superman movie and there was a Wonder Woman movie before it. So you already...
It was more of a Suicide Squad. Really, it was as risky as Suicide. Well, saying that though, because Guardians of the Galaxy came out before the Suicide Squad. So...
Well, you're not. I mean, like, yeah, Suicide Squad took a risk as well by doing that.
Yeah.
And the thing is with Suicide Squad is that they have two characters that carry it. The thing with Suicide Squad is you have Harley Quinn and Deadshot who carry the whole fucking film. Whereas in Guardians of the Galaxy, you can't even argue who the best one is in that movie because the development of all those characters is just so good that it's hard to choose who your favourite is. Like, a lot of people are going to say Groot because he's funny, so they're going to say Rocket because he's quite funny. But you can argue that, like, Star-Lord's development from, like, you know, missing his mum and, like, not really getting... Well, I mean, he is kind of used to his new life now, but the fact that he's always been, like, running away and he's always been a loner, like that, you know, he has to develop into having a team there and, like, and, you know, Drax has developed not getting angry every fucking 10 seconds. You know, and then like Gamora, you know, like she's starting to hate her dad more and she's become more getting the good side of the Guardians and like in Star-Lord trying to, you know, woo her, obviously, because he likes her a lot and Gamora just doesn't get it because she's never really been in that sort of situation where she can fall in love. You know, and that's my argument right there is that you develop these characters and let's just say it's a short period of time. Because let's think about it, right? Iron Man had 3 films to develop him, right? Captain America had 3 films to develop him. Thor had 3 films to develop. You know, like all these characters have trilogies to develop them. Whereas Guardians of the Galaxy had that one movie to develop them, and then we couldn't wait for a sequel, and the sequel is, you know, arguably just as good. And people will say it's better, but I don't know.
But they're making a film of characters that are already in a team though. Whereas for Captain America and Iron Man, they could work on their own.
Yeah, but everybody knew who the fucking Avengers were.
Not
everybody knew who Guardians of the Galaxy were, and they made you fall in love with them.
That was because Iron Man, nobody really loved Iron Man before the first Iron Man film came out. Nobody loved Captain America before the first Captain America film came out. It was these films.
That's a bold claim, by the way.
And it really is a fucking bold claim because everybody knows who these characters are.
But that was always what people were saying beforehand.
You would never walk around
for these movies.
If you're not an MCU fan, you know who Iron Man is. If you're not, you know who Captain America is.
Because you knew that there was films of them now, and that was great. It was the same with Transformers. Transformers wasn't. It was huge.
Transformers. Right.
End of discussion. End your topic, and I'll pick one up.
MCU fans didn't even know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were, and they fell in love with them because of one movie. Every MCU fan knows who Iron Man was before it came out, knew who Captain America was before it came out, knew who Thor was before it came out. Yes, these films are still great, of course they're great, but nobody knew who fucking Guardians of the Galaxy were unless you were so deep into the comics about Marvel. And in this 2-hour time frame, they made you fall in love with the main Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, I just think for Avengers Endgame, it's more of how much of a dark turn it takes, and how much risks they actually had. You know, the fact that they actually got me to the point that I didn't know where this story was going, which I thought was fantastic, considering that how much of the MCU movies you can predict, you can easily tell where it's going to go. I just think it had that unpredictability, which I loved. I didn't know where this story was going, you know, the fact, and also plus with the characters, I didn't know where the characters like really were at for their own story, because obviously I knew that obviously the character development that Thor had for this movie, he was, you know, a drunken mess, he was done for, you know, all because of this whole thing. He has lost everything apart from one wee tiny like Asgard, a quarter of Asgard, and then you've got Hulk that's really trying to make himself like bigger. Like he's trying to make himself more himself now, He just came to terms with it. Ant-Man, he just came through all this. You know, they're dealing with characters that have went through so much. And not even mentioning Hawkeye. You know, the character development that he got through this film. You know, the fact that how much he turned. Like, he was actually killing people left, right and centre when we first saw him. You know, the places that it took characters. You know, the places that it took the characters to. I just thought it was great, because you didn't know, going into this film, you had an idea, but you didn't know where or how dark you were going to get. Like, Hawkeye, or Ronan, literally kills the guy viciously by actually stabbing him. When have we actually seen that in the MCU properly? You know, when have we seen it go that dark? You know, it's...
Right. They are strong claims, man. But to win the actual discussion round in all of this, fuck.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier.
Liam, this one.
Next episode.
Hold on, actually, see before you make a decision, right? You want to talk about unpredictability? Who predicted that Peter Quill would have a dance-off at the end to distract Ronan for him to get killed and to get the stone taken off him? Who would predict that? Who would predict how they would stop Ronan?
But that's not like that great of a... The villain wasn't that great at first, though.
I'm not talking about the villain. I'm talking about Peter Quill being unpredictable. I'm not talking about Ronan.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, the villain wasn't as like...
Both. Right. I've made a decision. Just for that last bit there. They're both great villains, right?
Okay.
But
are you basing this on villains?
I'm not basing this on everything, but this is the main point.
Right.
Ronan took a while to start off with to become good.
Took Thanos 2 films?
No, definitely. As soon as you've seen Thanos, you're hooked with him.
I wasn't.
Even in the wee sneak peeks in Guardians.
Well, yeah, right. At the end of Guardians, right, it was cool when he picks up the gauntlet finally, right? That was cool. I'll admit that, right? But see when it comes to see if you're going to base this on villains. If you're basing this purely on villains, then yes, Thanos is better than Ronan, but hands down he's the best MCU villain. But I'm basing this on the Guardians of the Galaxy. See, he can talk about villains all he fucking wants. I'm basing this on the Guardians of the Galaxy. Who, let's not forget, we're in Infinity War for about 20 minutes and everybody argues is the best scene in the film.
We're going to talk about the Infinity War, but...
I know, it's not an Endgame.
Doesn't matter. It does not matter. And Infinity War and Endgame are pretty much the same film, but you can't make that 4 hours long, can you?
They steal the show, didn't they? Guardians steal the show.
The Guardians steal the show in Infinity War, and
but I'm not.
You can even argue that Star-Lord steals it at the end when Gamora slaps him because he thinks they're still together.
Yeah.
You can even argue that scene right there is like, well, even argue again when Thor comes and joins the Guardians and they have that wee dispute of who's captain. That was amazing as well, right?
But that's an endgame. That is an endgame.
Probably thought Endgame.
Yeah, but so then that does that not mean that's a
but
good
one
thing
why
for
those
me?
scenes are so amazing is because we had Guardians of the Galaxy and we had Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That's why they're so amazing.
Yeah, but also the fact that how in 4 we also get Taika Waititi's film in Thor Ragnarok, and that is how Thor turns out to be what he is now, and also the fact Infinity War brought him to... He's just this drunken mess that is. It's had to go through Ragnarok, that went through Infinity War to now.
Why do I talk about Thor?
Because you're talking about the last scene that had been Thor's with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes,
so but the
reason that scene is so amazing is because when we were in Infinity War, Peter Quill was a bit jealous of Thor because he's a Norse god, right? Of course you're going to be jealous of Thor, right? And then at the end of Endgame, we've seen how, you know, there was a bit of just a dispute of like who's the captain of the ship. But the reason that we get that dispute is because of the dispute we already got in Guardians of the Galaxy between Rocket and Peter Quill.
Yes, but at the same time though, you can't just bring the Guardians of the Galaxy in for Endgame. You can for Endgame. I'm talking about
in Marvel history.
But I'm talking about so the Avengers aren't.
No.
So the Avengers,
no.
the people that we We're there to see.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
There from the very beginning.
See when the first
of the
Avengers,
MCU.
see when the first Avengers came out, nobody remembered Natasha Romanoff's name. Nobody remembered her name, right? What's Hawkeye's real name, Sean?
Clint.
Clint what?
Clint.
Clint what? Exactly.
Listen, that's not.
No,
listen,
exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Listen.
Blocked.
Where?
Stop.
But where are you?
I'll bring it about. It's closed. Shut up.
Can't disrespect where all the characters went through.
Do you want disqualified? You've changed me. Point goes to Sander.
Yes! How the fuck did that happen?
He stole the show. They stole the show in Infinity War and in Endgame. They stole it.
But so in my film, in Endgame, you're basing it on the Guardians of the Galaxy or the team in Endgame.
They are the team. They.
But
stole
then-
the show. Anything you're watching, them you're hooked.
But the film isn't just about the Guardians of the Galaxy and Endgame.
I'm talking.
But I'm talking about the things that happen with that film.
Of course,
The things that
Want
happen.
some chips for that salt?
Of course, you're putting Endgame right. That's the conclusion of all this film.
Yes,
so we're not
exactly.
talking about all these films. We're talking about Endgame as a solo
Yes.
film.
So on its solo film, it had me on the edge of my seat, not knowing where it was going to go.
But not only
But no, but your argument for not knowing where it was going to go was because of the history of the entire MCU franchise. I'm talking about one solo film of Guardians of the Galaxy that developed these characters from start to
It
finish.
didn't have a great villain. To see that is
The villain doesn't make the film, it's the Guardians of the Galaxy that makes the fucking film.
doesn't make the villain, but what it does is it makes it lacks it. Because if you had a great villain,
Give me my one, please. I can't
perfect.
be after this. I'm taking the 2-1, man. Give me my fucking.
No,
point.
wait.
Give me my fucking
We've
point.
got one now.
Oh, I feel over this.
We have
I still can't
quick
believe
fire
that. That's shocking.
rounds, which you don't know any of the
I
questions.
don't know any of the questions.
You don't know any of the questions.
I know one of them because I peeked.
Shocking. That's a disqualification there.
No, that's not disqualification. He's sitting there with his phone like this, and I'm trying to listen to you.
Right, so the way it works, you have 1 minute to discuss which film is better.
But no, are we taking it in turns or are we arguing it?
You have to take turn, and you have to take turn. and that's it.
Right, okay. That's it?
That's it.
Right, okay.
So,
Are we arguing it if it's better or worse?
it's better. You have to argue it's better. Even if you don't like the film, you have to argue that it's the
Oh,
best
you're
film.
taking it.
And you have to
You're gonna
convince
tweet
me.
That's going to take so long.
You only have 1 minute. You only
Yeah, still, but that's going to
You're gonna just choose garbage films, aren't you?
Chucky Free.
Child's Play Free, okay. You've even got the title wrong. It's Child's Play Free.
Chucky Free or Scream 1?
What? Scream 1. Scream
That's the Scream 1 first.
Scream 1 is miles better.
Right, you need to argue Child Play Free's better than
Right,
Scream 1.
so-
What?
Yep.
Yep, that's how it works.
Child, oh, Jesus.
Wait, right, so as soon as you can have a wee time to think, and as soon as you say
Oh,
go,
Jesus. I need to defend the
We
worst.
time to think. I don't need to think.
Child's Play 3 is the worst Child's Play movie. And I'm not saying it's the
it's
worst.
not.
It is the worst Child's Play
Right,
movie.
right.
I'm not counting.
If you want
Chucky
to draw this, you better make up a good argument.
Right. So
3, 2, 1.
Andy gets older and he's like, I don't know. No, you can't argue. You cannot argue.
Right, stop it. I'm taking the point. I'm leaving the argument.
Right,
Child's
I'm
Play,
leaving the argument.
Child's Play 3. You can't argue Child's Play 3 or Scream 1. See if it was Child's Play 3 or Scream 3. Now you've got
See,
an
you just said
argument.
Scream 1 quicker. That's what we arguing. You don't even arguing.
I did say Scream 1.
I'm asking it first.
But I didn't know that you might say it out first though.
Right, so now you know the rules then, right?
Right.
You know the rules then, yeah?
you need to win the
You
next
need,
two
you, need to
rounds.
be, you need to be more clear about your nose.
You need to win the next. Star Wars 4, Star Wars 5.
Star Wars
Star Wars.
4. You took Empire.
Right.
Who's going first on this one?
You first. Sander.
So I'm arguing New Hope is better than Empire.
Aye.
Okay. Tell me when.
I already have an opinion on this. But
Wait, tell me when.
right. 3, 2, 1.
Empire has rememberable scenes throughout the film. It's not a rememberable movie. A lot of people will tell you that Empire is the best Star Wars film. I disagree, and the reason I disagree is because Dagobah scene shite, right? Dagobah scene is fucking shite. Yoda is the worst fucking character in Empire, right? He's so much better than the fucking prequels, right? So let's talk about New Hope now, right? Because that's me got that argument anyway. So let's talk about New Hope here. New Hope, of course, starting off the Star Wars franchise, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi being old and retarded.
I'm still going. I'm still going.
Right, I need to put it in there. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi being old and retarded. We see R2-D2 and C-3PO Unity. They start off the film, you know, the two strongest characters, arguably in the Star Wars franchise. They start off the film. We have Luke Skywalker, who is, you know, he doesn't even know what is going on right now in the first 10 minutes, and then afterwards, is that me?
No.
Sean? Right, 3, 2, 1.
Well, what else more can I say about Empire Strikes Back? For one, it develops Darth Vader more. The character development that it gives for Darth Vader is far more better than it is for A New Hope. The Emperor is given way of, he's showing that he is the person that is holding Darth Vader to a leash. We find that out, and also the fact, need to see more about the last act of the Empire. That lightsaber battle between Luke and Darth Vader, that lightsaber battle is one of the greatest movie scenes of all time. It is one of the greatest it is one of the greatest plot twists of all time, and also the fact that the training of Yoda and Luke Skywalker, you're talking shit, Xander, is one of the best parts of the Star Wars franchise. You know, the things that Yoda has learnt, is taught, is teaching Luke Skywalker.
Ultra retarded. With all the claims you'll win a 1 minute discussion here, I'll have to go with Sean. They made good points with being like the iconic scene. I don't agree with the best film scene in history.
One of the best.
Even then, but
I'll give you the plot twist. That was a big plot twist. That was a massive plot twist. I'll give Empire for that. But see the whole scenes with Luke and Yoda and Dagobah. Why did that take so long?
It's a test of looks.
Star Wars fans are still arguing to this day if that took 2 weeks to train him or months to train him. And this is all based upon if Han Solo was tortured for weeks or months in Bespin. Right? So, with that in mind, are you still going to tell me that Dagobah is still the best scene? Because
even it's one of it trains up Luke Skywalker.
But yeah, but
this isn't part of the minute.
No. We get 20 minutes, or in fact easily half an hour of Luke being trained by Yoda, and then Darth Vader fucks him up in the lightsaber fight.
Well, that because he wasn't ready, because he leaves being...
Oh, then what was Yoda training him for then?
Because he hasn't
He hasn't
learned.
Wait, that's free. It's free too. It's done.
He hasn't learned yet.
So Sean,
he's not a true Jedi yet.
You will need to draw this so we can go into overtime, or Xander, you can take it and you can win the belt, the custom belt, and then you can do whatever you want on it. The last question, hopefully, or okay, I don't know. What's better, Green Lantern or Hulk 2003?
Hulk 2003. Mainly because I've not seen the Green Lantern movie.
No, you didn't give me the point for that. I'm not arguing Green Lantern if he's not seen it.
No, you have to. I can't remember writing for Hulk 2003, but you have to argue it.
That's fine, I can argue.
I don't fucking remember it if I Green Lantern.
You're going to start Hulk 2003.
Listen, everybody hates on this movie, right? But I secretly think this is a masterpiece of the work. I always think it's a masterpiece of work. The way that it does...
You like this, man.
The way that it does the shot by shot with the comics, I think it's... With the editing, I thought it's fantastic. I'm Lee, I've got to give it to the man. He's a great director in his work. He's directing a new film as well. I'm looking forward to seeing that. He's always been one of my best. I thought the villain was I think the villain. What was the villain? Yeah, the villain. Yeah, he was a very good villain. I really liked him. I thought it was really. The CGI on Hulk was fantastic. I thought Couldn't be any better. I think you could honestly tell it's nowadays graphics, do you know? It's nowadays
Right, so good. 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 Topic for you, though.
So, what actually makes Green Lantern a good movie? That's a great question.
I can't believe we're going to do more time.
So what actually makes Green Lantern a good movie is that Ryan Reynolds is in it, and Ryan Reynolds always gives his best in every film that he's in. I'm hoping that Detective Pikachu is good, and obviously Deadpool is amazing. And you know, it really shows how good Green Lantern was when at the end of Deadpool 2 he ruins the entire franchise. The Ring was cool. The bad guy was, you know, he was alright. Green Lantern's, you know, he gets beaten by the colour yellow. That's good to know. So he kind of used a number 2 pencil, shout out Big Bang Theory. Yeah, I mean, Ryan Reynolds is, you know, he's better than whoever.
Sean wins. you spoke about Detective Pikachu rather than the actual film.
What are you talking about? I said The Ring was cool.
Right. Overtime. First episode.
What's overtime then?
You just need to do one more quick fire.
No, don't do quick fire, man. Let's do a proper one now. Quick fire sucks. Quick fire sucks.
Because you suck at it.
I won one! I won 2.
One more quick fire.
Still think I should have got the end game one.
You talk shit.
This isn't a good video to watch, at least you know that it'll be a very close one.
For the first episode.
Yep.
What's better?
Right, okay.
I had to think this right now, but Shawshank Redemption.
I've not seen it. I've not.
The Shining.
Shawshank Redemption.
Oh fuck!
I've not seen Shawshank Redemption, so I can't really. I've got to see this. Oh yeah, I've got to go for the Shining. That's fine. Stanley Kubrick.
Right.
Am I going first?
No, he's good.
Right, okay.
Just the way you pointing that, because you pointed it in my way last first time.
I don't know.
Right.
Go.
Alright. So Stanley Kubrick, The Shining. Now, this film, first of all, what a performance by Jack Nicholson. The way he treats his the way Stanley Kubrick treats his actors. Okay, it was rough, but listen, it got the best out of the actors. The visual effects that was used with the blood scene through the elevator bit, and also plus the scene with the 2 girls, and then the fact that when you see them dead and stuff like that. I think it's a really, really great movie for that. And also the fact that it's visual storytelling, the way how it tells you, and also basically leaves you in a cliffhanger at the end of the movie as well. The way that everything just the way the film works, and it's like, it's the way it's shown to you, that you show the Jack Nicholson's character, like, the way he's losing his mind, the way he loses his mind, the way that, how the wife has no idea, the way how, that bar scene, you know, with the, he's like ghosts and stuff like that all around, you know, I just think it's...
You think it's
one of the
nothing?
best. I think it is.
Right. I heard a lot of your nose. That was most of your time.
I'll talk about the film, but...
Aye, sure. Right, Zandler. Go.
So, The Shawshank Redemption is the story of Andy Dufresne, and Andy Dufresne is he believes himself that he is wrongly accused of murder. Right, he believes he's wrongly accused of murder, and is obviously, you know, he's sent to prison for it, and he meets Morgan Freeman there. Now I've totally forgotten the character's name, but he meets Morgan Freeman there, and Morgan Freeman is by far probably the best thing about this film, mainly because not only is he good character development for Andy Dufresne, who, you know, he's trying to figure out himself more now, and he's talking about how he's going to get out of there, and, you know, he's going to escape, and you know, Morgan Freeman's character, you know, like, he does believe him, believes him in certain ways, but he feels like it's more of like a philosophical escape rather than actually escaping out of the prison itself. Obviously, later on in the film, we do see that Andy Dufresne does escape from the prison, and it's one of the most iconic movie scenes. One of the most iconic scenes where they rip off that poster and you just see that big.
I would set defeat to that.
I was just getting into that as well. I love fucking Shawshank Redemption.
If I did got to the last one, I'm not happy with that.
The winner is of the first UFC, Owen, and the judge of next episode. Yeah, Xander's won.
Fair enough.
He's won the coveted belt. Will be shown. It's basically about it. So, boom. There
Yeah, I'll take that.
is your coveted belt. This will be the UFC title.
Thank you.
Any judging words, since I will be in the next episode, #1 contender spot?
Oh, you're fucked. You're fucked. Me and Sean have a lot of, relations towards movies, so you're fucked, mate.
Do you know what? I'll actually win the next episode. I'll take that title off you, and I'll become important for a long time. Thank you all for watching, of course.
Tune in next week to for UFC 2, where it'll be me hosting, and I will be creating the questions, and apparently quickfire question, that was a thing, so be creating those as well. Stay frosty.